of Jeff Bridges, whose co-star in True Grit is 14-year-old Hailee Steinfeld, who's getting a lot of Oscar buzz for portraying a young girl on a mission to find the man who killed her dad. Take a look.
Can we depart this afternoon?
We? You are not going. That is no part of it.
You have misjudged me if you think I'm silly enough to give you $50 and watch you simply ride off.
I'm a bonded U.S. Marshal.
That weighs but little with me. I will see the thing done.
I've been the duck. I can't go after Ned Pepper and a band of hard men look after a baby at the same time.
I am not a baby.
Woo! Please welcome Hailee Steinfeld.
Freshly 14.
Freshly 14.
You are, baby.
Thank you. Hailee, come sit down, girl. Now, I mean, this is what you were so wonderful in this film when we saw it. But your biggest acting jobs before you did the film was a commercial and guest starring parts on places. Now, you've done this. Oscar buzz is just surrounding you. Rolling Stone magazine said, "I don't know where the Coens found Steinfeld, but her Star is Born performance is worth shouting about." What was it like seeing yourself on that screen?
It was very overwhelming, I do have to say. I saw it with my family and my representatives, and so it was hard because I knew that, you know, either way, because it's my family, they were going to tell me I did a good job no matter what. So, I mean, I didn't know, I didn't really, I don't know, it took a while for it to sink in, but I mean, it's incredible. I'm really proud of it.
But you were 8 years old when you started, right?
Yes.
But I was reading that your mother, she wanted you to wait a year, study acting before you go on auditions, right?
Yes. Well, because
that was good.
Yeah. Well, up until that point, I tried every type of sport, every type of dance, never stuck with anything. So she wanted me to go to classes, study for a year before we took any step further to make sure that, you know, I would stay consistent with it. And
so how did that make you feel after the year was up? That you wanted it more?
Yeah, I did it. I think it was, I did it for a whole summer, for a whole year during the summer, and I loved it. It was fun for me, and it still is, and I mean, that's why I love it.
But
you know, there were, what, 15,000 young women, is that true, who tried out for this part, and you come on dressed for the part, but you're unknown, they don't even want to bother with you. Why did they hire her? 15,000, and this beautiful girl gets it.
I think she was about the only one who could tackle that dialogue and make it sound like it was coming out of her person. You know, I mean, it was really tough. This would be a tough role for a seasoned actor, you know. But hey, wow, she pulled it off. She was so wonderful in this.
Did you practice that way of talking? How did you know what it was going to be like?
Well, when I first heard that they were, you know, when I first heard about True Grit, I watched the original, and that right there kind of put me in the whole mindset of that, you know, that time era and all the characters and the language, and so that right there was, you know, was great. And I mean, I was so fortunate to have that. I had a script, I had a book, I had Joel and Ethan, and all the actors. I mean, I really had every reference I could get. And but my main thing was, first of all, just going through and making sure that, you know, I understood what everything meant. And then, of course, you know, go back through and make sure that I understood what it meant to me emotionally and how I could relate to it in my own life. And then in terms of the accent, I mean, it just kind of formed naturally when everyone else was talking.
Did you think you got the part? Did you walk away saying, I think I got it?
You know, I don't know. I just felt like, I mean, I was really prepared. I had 5 weeks not knowing if I was going to be called in or not to prepare. And I really took advantage of it. And I was so proud of the fact that I was 110% prepared. You know, I really felt that. I mean, I got the call, I believe, to read for the Coen Brothers, and I was supposed to go in the next day, and they added 10 pages of slides. So it was a lot of material and a lot of stuff to work on. But
you're a grown-up 14.
You have some wisdom in you that is great. You know,
Preparation.
an outstanding performance. So mixed with your talent and hard work, I mean, came an incredible product. And your co-stars are not too shabby themselves, obviously. Jeff, Josh Brolin, and Matt Damon. I heard that you guys had something called the Bad Boy Jar on set. What is that?
Swearing?
Yes.
What is it? So what happened? Every time someone cursed?
Yes. The F word was $5, and every other word was $1. And I started kind of a month into filming after I realized that, you know, it was kind of my mom and my teacher idea as well, because they didn't want me to pick up on it,
Yeah.
which I didn't.
Okay.
Of course, and so yeah, I started that.
Who paid the most money in that jar?
I think I still owe you. I don't think I ever paid up.
What did you make?
I made about $350.
That's a lot of four-letter words.
That's not even counting my money, and I haven't paid her yet. Oh, yeah.
Now, this was not, you know, usually when you see films like this, the actors seem to be slightly pampered. No one's ever really dirty. You were in the water, you were in the mud, you were in the horse poo. You know I don't want to pay you any money, so I'm gonna say horse poo. So, what was that? Because it's very rare that you get that kind of opportunity. How was that for you?
Well, it's funny because I think one of my main inspirations when I first wanted to start acting was my cousin. She was doing commercials, and it was like, you know, for some doll. So she was all glammed up and, you know, with the dolls and everything. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do that, right? Thinking that it would be, you know,
glamorous,
exactly. And so this is definitely not that. But it was fun, and I think, you know, the locations that we were in were beautiful, and I think, you know, it was really great. I had a good time.
And you made it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
Well, you made it a point, Hailee. You watched all of Matt Damon's films, all of Jeff Bridges'
Not all of them.
Okay, like a lot of them.
Well, I mean, before, you know, the film came along, I was, you know, of course, familiar with who they were and their work, but I definitely did my research afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there a favorite film of Jeff Bridges that you liked?
My favorite film? Oh, there's so many.
Big Lebowski.
Of course.
Yes.
That's a movie that my cousins are really into, so I've seen that a few
Talk about
times.
your cousin job.
Right?
Yeah. Flower. Now, Jeff, let me ask you, because there's something very close to your heart that you're working with in terms of getting hunger stopped.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked me that. I'm the national spokesperson for a campaign called No Kid Hungry, and we're all about ending childhood hunger here in our country by 2015. Thank you. It's hard to believe, but according to the Department of Agriculture, we've got 17 million children. That's 1 in 4.
So what
you
are
can
you doing?
imagine
Are you collecting money?
that don't live in homes where there's enough nutrition.
Right. So what
What we're doing currently, there's over $1 billion that's already allotted to the various states.
Right.
Two programs that already work, like the WIC program, food stamps, the school meal programs, but that money's not being used. And there are various reasons, from just transportation, the buses aren't getting the kids, to school on time. The main thing, I think, is just, shame and embarrassment, for being the kid whose parents can't afford the meal, know. So I'm trying to get this campaign going. Hay was saying that she's going to help me, possibly, and I want to encourage the viewers out there to go to nokidhungry.org and find out more about it.
Thank you.
Thanks
so
for
much.
asking.
Jeff, thank you. Hailee, thank you. Our thanks to Jeff Bridges and Hailee Steinfeld. True Grit is in theaters nationwide. We'll be right back.